In this video, we're going to look at two more functions of temporal attributes in order to solve the problem that was highlighted in the previous slide. Let's put down on paper the things that we already can talk about. So the paid benefit amount, what we want to do is the number of children multiplied by the benefit rate at n-1. So the previous month, if we will. We also want to be able to calculate the amount of benefit paid since the start of 2020. Let's do that. And we know that we need to do that. So there is a function we can use, is interval daily sum, and we'll say starting on the 1st of January 2020, running up to today. Of course, it could be up to any date. And we're going to introduce the paid benefit amount. So interval daily sum is a great way of taking a daily amount and then calculating an overall total for it. But now we have the challenge of identifying the benefit that is payable on a given day, because the benefit rate is a simple attribute, but we need the benefit rate at n-1. So we're going to do this in several parts. We're going to create a calendar, or a chronology, if you will. And we're going to use add days, which I'm sure you've seen before. This is not a temporal function, just a standard function. And we're going to say add on the number of days since the 1st of January up to the current date. And now let's go and have a look in the debugger at what happens with that data. I'll reset. And the calendar for benefit, which is the rule we've just created, has created a chronology, a calendar running from the 1st of January 2020 up to today. And of course, it will continue on because we said up to the current date. So this calendar for benefit, which is essentially just a daily calendar, is going to be the backbone of the next part of our calculation. Before we go any further, though, what we will do is we'll add the attributes that we need. So I've added, of course, the benefit rate at n-1, the number of children, the paid benefit amount. These were all added because of the rules. But I'm also going to add the benefit rate, because in order to calculate the benefit rate 1 month ago, we still need to have the benefit rate. So if I was to debug right now and go and look at the benefit rate, of course, is going to be temporal, and we'll say that the benefit rate changes, the benefit rate changes, let's say 4 times. No, 3 times will do. And we'll say that its first declaration would be on, I don't know, let's go right back and go as far as December 2019. You've probably worked out why I've chosen December 2019, because December 2019 is 1 month before the beginning of 2020. And we need to be able to calculate for 2020 starting in January. So I'm going to say that the rate as of that date was 15 currency units, whatever it is. Then we'll say that the rate changed in June 15th of 2020 and went to 17.5. And then finally, we'll say that there was another change in 2020. Whoops, that won't get me very far. 2020 in November. And we'll say that the rate changed on the 1st of November and went to 18. So now we have a benefit rate that is temporal. So the benefit rate in December of 2019 was 15. The benefit rate then changed the next time. It was 15 all the way through January, February, March, April, May, and changed on the 15th of June and went, oh, not 175, excuse me, 17.5, that's a better number, and changed to 17.5 on the 15th of June, and then it changed to 18 on the 1st of November. So you can probably see where I'm going with this is that if you were paid benefit in November, you would actually should have been calculated on the rate 17.5 because you're only calculating benefit on the rate that was valid for the previous month. Okay, so now we have our basic set of information available to us in terms of attributes. We've got our basic need is to calculate the paid benefit amount, and our second basic need is to calculate the amount of benefit that's been paid so far. Finally, therefore, we need to add the benefit rate at n-1 equals. So we're now going to calculate the correct rate. And to do this, we will use a temporal function, value at. So you know what we want to try and do is we want to try and pick the value at today's date minus 1 month. We want to be able to get the rate a month ago. And to do that, we will use add month. And we will look up our calendar. And we will subtract 1 month. So that we'll go into our calendar for benefit, and if today's date is the 3rd of July, we will go and find the 3rd of June. And then we will pick up the benefit rate that was valid on the 3rd of June. So the benefit rate for n-1 will actually be the benefit rate on the date minus 1 month. If we now go to the debugger, we'll refresh the screen, and we'll say the number of children, which is, of course, the item which we hadn't filled in so far. We'll say that starting at 0, and then let's make 2 changes. We'll say that your first child happy event arrived in February of 2020, and the second child arrived in November 2020. There we go. So it means that, first of all, we are able to see the benefit rates. So the starting rate was 15, and then the 15th of July, the rate changed to, I still got 175. I need to go and correct that. My apologies, it's not 175. It's because of the formatting on my keyboard. I'll get there in the end, 17.5, that's better. So we'll go back and look at the benefit rate and say, well, yeah, it was 15 all the way through to the 15th of July, which is 1 month after the actual rate change. And it went to 17.5, and then 1 month after the rate change on the 1st of November, it went to 18. So our benefit rate at n-1 is functioning correctly, which means we are then able to calculate the paid benefit amount. So in the first part of the year, you didn't get anything because you didn't have any children. Then you picked up on the original n-1 rate, and you moved to the new n-1 rate on the 15th of July, and you moved to the new n-1 rate on the 20th of November because you had a second child. And then, of course, in the final month of the year, you benefited from the final increase in the benefit rate. And the total benefit paid since the start of this is 6,684 since the start of 2020. So what started out as a fairly complex calculation in reality turned out to be quite simple based on 2 key points in this video. Number 1, the ability to create essentially a calendar. Now, I created a calendar using temporal days since because I wanted a daily calendar, but you can see that there are temporal weeks and months since. and also using interval daily sum to calculate a value over a period of days. So if I wanted to know how much had been paid to the person based on this benefit amount being a daily amount, interval daily sum calculated it for me